My name's Sam. The following happened to me a few years back. It was my first experience with real darkness. There's plenty of that to go around these days, with hell starting to seep its way into our lives. But back then, not so much. I was only 13 at the time, and I was incredibly naive about the world. I did, however, still believe in the boogeyman. Knowing what I know now, that was probably a good thing. The night had fallen, casting a shroud over our home. We lived in Little Harvest, far enough from the noise and commotion of the city, nestled within the quiet embrace of nature. As the stars blinked into existence, my mom, dad, and I were settling down for a cozy evening. "Sam," my mom called out from the kitchen, her voice breaking the evening's hush. "Don't forget to take the garbage can to the road. Tomorrow's trash day." I groaned. Not because I minded helping, but because I had always been scared of our long gravel driveway, especially at night. It was flanked by dense woods on both sides, and my overactive imagination often played tricks on me. Reluctantly, I made my way to the garage and fetched the garbage can. Its wheels grated noisily against the gravel, each clank echoing ominously in the stillness of the night. I couldn't help but wonder if the noise would drown out any other sounds around me. The moon cast eerie shadows everywhere, and the trees, towering like ancient sentinels, seemed to lean closer, their branches almost touching overhead. With every step, the weight of the darkness and silence bore down on me. As I walked, I felt eyes on me from the woods. My heart raced, and I could swear I saw fleeting movements just beyond the reach of my flashlight's beam. Time stretched on, and the driveway seemed longer than usual. My footsteps echoed in my ears, making my pulse quicken. And then I stopped dead in my tracks. I was certain I'd heard someone talking. Whispers, like a distant conversation, tickled my ears. My flashlight trembled in my hand as I strained to listen. "Hello?" I called out, but there was no reply. The voices had ceased, if they were there at all. Frightened, I quickened my pace, rolling the garbage can as fast as I could. My heart thundered and sweat trickled down my brow. Finally, I reached the road and dropped off the garbage can, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I glanced back toward our dark driveway, the churning blackness filled with unseen terrors. Then I bolted for the house. About halfway back, over the sound of my footsteps in the gravel, I distinctly heard a faint whimper of a voice to my right, deep in the darkness of the woods. The voice said, "Help me!" I froze again. Could someone be out there in need of help? Of course, but even my naive 13-year-old mind knew it could also be a trap. I was afraid to go in there. And I was also afraid to leave them. I took one step toward the tree line and stopped myself again. I knew I couldn't do it. No, I knew I shouldn't do it. I ran the rest of the way back to the house as fast as my legs would carry me. "Mom, Mom!" I cried as I burst through the door. "I heard voices in the woods. I think someone's out there." Mom's eyes widened in alarm and she rushed to my side. "Stay here, Sam. I'll get your dad." Dad had been in the office and was already walking our way, having heard the commotion. We told him what was happening, and he took the flashlight from my hand, disappearing out the front door. Mom and I watched from the window until we couldn't see him anymore. 10 minutes passed, and we couldn't take it anymore. "I'm going out there," she said. "Lock the door, and if anyone besides us comes to the door, you hide and call the police." I couldn't even respond before she walked outside. I locked the door as she asked, and I returned to the window. I stood watching my mom rush out to find my dad. It felt like hours had passed, though it was likely only minutes. Panic gripped me as I imagined the worst happening first to my dad in the woods, then to my mom. And then, relief washed over me as I saw the flashing blue and red lights at the end of our driveway. My mom emerged from the shadows, her face pale, but her eyes filled with determination. I rushed outside to meet her. She told me Dad had found a lady who had been attacked, left for dead in the woods. He had called 911, and the police and an ambulance were there taking care of her. As we waited anxiously, I couldn't help but wonder if my timely return had scared away the assailant. I shivered, realizing how differently this night could have ended if I'd ventured into the woods instead of running back to the safety of our home. In the end, the lady was found, and she was okay. She recovered. But that night served as a stark reminder that the darkness in the woods held not only my childhood fears, but also very real and sinister dangers. On the plus side, my parents never asked me to take out the garbage again, although I'd always be cautious no matter what, knowing that sometimes it's better to heed the fear and choose safety over curiosity.